Hello wrestling fans, the Wrestling Wizard here and welcome to another video. Now this video feels like an absolute blast from the past doing this style format on the channel. It's been a minute and truth be told I didn't have the setup, but the setup's back and it's time to up our game on the channel. Let's mix things up and take things to the next level because I really want to get to 10,000 subscribers. That is like my absolute mission and I want to involve you the wrestling fans a little bit more as well. I want to have at least one video per week dedicated towards you and your ideas, and then what we can do is answer any questions that you have in a video. Now obviously I'm the ultimate wrestling nerd, or one of many wrestling nerds out there, right? I'm not ashamed to admit it. I've watched WWE/WWF for like 25 years. And that makes me feel like an absolute dinosaur. But obviously through that time, WWE has gone up and down. It's had its highs and lows. But to this present day, it's safe to say under the leadership and guidance of Triple H, that they're smashing it out the park. WWE is a hot product and in an amazing place. And I want to talk about that hot product. This is going to be my sort of video idea for the week. And then following it will be your video ideas of 10 wrestlers that have either been booked well or not under the leadership of Paul Triple H Levesque, giving him the full name there. And there are numerous superstars that you would question the booking of, but obviously numerous superstars that have benefited under the leadership of Triple H, and we're going to cover them. Now again, this is just my theories, my opinions. You can get down in the comments section, share your thoughts and opinions on what you think of some of these decisions. Now, I'm going to kick things off with a superstar who undeniably has smashed it out of the park, certainly more recently, and has been a massive hit success under the leadership of Triple H recently. And that, of course, is the Scottish psychopath in Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is must see when it comes to WWE programming. He's always been physical in the ring. Obviously, at 6'5", 275 pounds, having beat Brock Lesnar in the past. He's a bit of a weapon in the ring and always has been. But he's taking his promos to another level. He's fully embraced this heel persona. And you could argue the likes of CM Punk are getting more muted responses because fans just want to cheer Drew McIntyre. He's that cool heel that you just want to get behind. Every time I see Drew McIntyre, I tune in, I pay attention because he makes you. And he's cool and I want to cheer him even though he's a heel. He gets insane reactions. The sky's the limit when it comes to Drew McIntyre, and I certainly feel this is the best we've ever seen all round Drew McIntyre. Next up, we turn our attention to the not so well booked superstar in regards to Triple H and his creative so far, and I've got to go with Bayley. And I know what you're probably thinking, she was WWE Women's Champion, she beat Io Sky at WrestleMania. It's hardly bad booking, and I'd agree, it's not bad booking. But I think she could be utilised better. And I think post-WrestleMania, Bayley hasn't been booked that well. Her segments have been pretty forgettable. Like, they've been a pass in terms of the way she's delivered them. She's just not been in that many promo segments. She's not been in many intriguing feuds. And many people aren't going to really remember the Bayley of 2024 WWE Women's Championship reign. Because it's been pretty unmemorable, really, hasn't it, I suppose, when it comes to it. And I'm a massive fan of Bayley, from the hugger gimmick to that phenomenal heel run that we saw through the pandemic era, and her tag team work alongside Sasha Banks at the time. That was like incredible, phenomenal if we're using another AJ Styles term, and we'll get onto him in a moment. And I just can't get invested in Bayley. She was not so long ago the leader of the villainous faction Damage Control at the time, and now we're supposed to be high-fiving her as she makes her way to the ring. Just can't really feel that invested in Bayley. She just doesn't feel that believable as a babyface, and personally I still think to this present day she should be running as a heel. But again, that's just me, that's just my madness. Now we move on to the second WWE superstar who, in my personal opinion, has been booked pretty well, and it's got to be in the women's division here. Nia Jax, the irresistible force since getting rehired from WWE. And let's not forget, a lot of WWE fans did not want to see Nia Jax back in a WWE ring. And what's she done? Just become this cocky, brash, full of herself So super confident. Really competent on the mic as well with Nia Jax. Not something you'd associate from the past. Dominant in the ring. Knows her role, knows her place, sticks to it. She's not a superstar that's ever going to deliver 20-minute matches. She doesn't need to. But she is literally someone that you would fear in the women's division. You will literally get crushed from the second rope with a finishing maneuver. Like, you will literally get crushed. And someone that you look at and you think, yeah, you've got everything now. You're in the best shape of your life. And your partnership and association alongside Tiffany Stratton just really works. They just gel together. It's just fantastic booking. And Queen of the Ring into the current WWE Women's Champion, defeating Bayley at SummerSlam. It's quite a step up from where she was before, of course, her release from WWE. Next up, we move on to superstar number 2. In my personal opinion, that I don't think has been booked that well. And it's actually superstars in the Street Profits. What has happened to the Street Profits? They were this massively over babyface faction. And inevitably, at some point, you thought Montes Ford would go down a singles run, be a mega hit as a single superstar. And also, Angelo Dawkins has so much potential as a single superstar. I think more down a heel persona. They could have split the two up. What did? They turned him heel. Had him join Bobby Lashley as this like slick Rick in suits swanning down like they own the place. Fans didn't buy it. Fans were still invested in them, so didn't really boo them. They got little to no reaction. Bobby Lashley seemingly doesn't appear to be with the company anymore. Fill me in if you know more than I do about that. And Street Profits are just barely really on TV. And when they're on TV, they just take a lot of losses. And I just feel there's a massive missed opportunity when it comes to both Montes Ford and Angelo Dawkins in the singles run. Hopefully, fingers crossed, toes crossed, it happens in the future. But at the moment, I'm not that optimistic about it. But I don't feel personally they've been booked that well. Now, of course, we move on to superstar number 3. In my personal opinion, who has been booked really well under the leadership and guidance of Triple H, in Chad Gable. Yes, you heard it. He has come a long way since the days of Shorty G. And he is a must-see, a must-watch on WWE Raw and WWE programming in general. He's got that face you want to punch because he plays that smarmy heel role so well. And what I like about him is you can also get behind him massively as a face as well. He can work both roles. But his work alongside the newly named American Maid is just literally the start. They're going to be a dominant force once they get past this feud with the Wyatt Six, who are also coming out smelling of roses, by the way. But Chad Gable, I think, is someone now where you just respect him. He's fantastic in the ring. He's great on the mic, and he just plays that heel role so well, but can equally play babyface as well. Now I'm going to switch back, of course, to a superstar, in my personal opinion, the third superstar that I believe hasn't been booked that well under the leadership of Triple H. And that is Baron Corbin. What has happened to Baron Corbin? They took him to NXT, went over to NXT, completely revitalised his career, freshened up his character, got a badass theme, the presentation was awesome, loved his tag team alongside Braun Breaker. And then they shift him to SmackDown and don't have a clue what to do with him. Literally, they have no idea what to do with him. Now, I'm hoping they find a place for him. Let's not forget, in 2019, the end of that year, Baron Corbin was literally one of the last people to pin Roman Reigns clean. With the exception, of course, of Jey Uso when he pinned Roman Reigns. Obviously, Cody at this year's WrestleMania. But 2019, Baron Corbin was that guy. I think he's got so much more to give. He's only, 39 as well? He's still got, he's pretty much in his prime. He has more to give. And I don't know why they don't give him that. Now we turn our attention back to the good side, in my opinion. Superstar number 4 that I think has been booked pretty well in Tiffany Stratton. It is definitely going to be Tiffy time soon. The fans have embraced Tiffany Stratton since her crossover from NXT to the main roster. It's been a surefire hit. She's been received so well. She's like the Barbie of the WWE women's division. She knows her role, she knows her lane, and she is absolutely phenomenal in the ring. I think that feud, that match specifically with Becky Lynch early on, elevated her, took her to another level, and fans just took her seriously. And I reckon in a couple of years time, we'll probably get Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton in a sort of passing on of the baton. Wishful thinking, I know, when it comes to Flair, but Flair has been known as of late, recently, I suppose. Not at the moment right now as she's injured, but if you go all the way back to WrestleMania 39, she did put over Rhea Ripley in what was a phenomenal match. I think we'll see much of the same with those two going against one another. You know full well it's only a matter of time until Tiffany Stratton turns on her what seems to be bestie at the moment in Nia Jax and cashes in that Money in the Bank briefcase, but not in this like snide kind of heel way. I think it's going to be in a way where you're going to go, I'm behind Tiffany Stratton. I don't know why, but I'm behind her. And I think you could work a babyface or heel. Fans will still receive her really, really well. She's got that bedazzled briefcase, so let's face it, the sparkles aren't going to go away anytime soon. She's going to have that for a while. But for the moment, let's just enjoy the ride and appreciate Tiffany Stratton. Back to the not so good side, if you like, and I've got to bring up the obvious here. Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair, in my personal opinion, is not being booked that great. Recently, under the guidance of Triple H, I don't really know what they're doing with her. I do, in a way, I suppose. I know eventually, of course, we're going to get Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill in a one-on-one match at some point. Probably on the grandest stage of them all at WrestleMania 41. But think about this logically, right? Bianca Belair, with her star power, literally the EST of WWE, was not on the SummerSlam match card. I mean, that's literally criminal, in my opinion. I know and I appreciate there's not space for everybody. This is Bianca flipping Belair. Her character is just going through the motions. I'm sure there's going to be a switch up. I did think at one point when they originally went with the Pride and Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits that Bianca would maybe come and join them and really interject some life into that. But obviously that got disabandoned and it seems like they're in limbo when it comes to Bianca Belair, other than having plans for her and Jade Cargill to split off at some point, which I'm sure they will. But what do you think? And of course that brings us on to my fifth superstar that I believe is being booked pretty well, and that superstar is Liv Morgan. And you could throw Dirty Dom in there as well, but we know that really, don't we? But Liv Morgan has been a nice surprise actually when it comes to her character. I think it was getting to a point with Liv Morgan as a face where you could only go so far, and she's turned heel and it's been the best thing that's ever happened for Liv Morgan. And fans are tuning in. The socials are going through the roof. Her association with now Dirty Dom, her feud with Rhea Ripley, it's just elevated everyone. And Liv Morgan just plays that heel role so well. Like the blonde at school that everybody fancied. But she's still deep down like super manipulative and goes out for herself to keep that championship. She will do literally anything to possess that world championship for as long as she can. Now, of course, that brings us on to the final, not so well booked, in my opinion, superstar or superstars. I've cheated the system. I'm not going to lie. I've gone for two superstars here, two veterans in Randy Orton and AJ Styles. Now, I know with veterans, generally speaking, the purpose is to put over younger talent because after all, they've been there, done that, literally won every accolade you could in WWE. I get that. But look at the shape Randy Orton is in. Look at the shape that AJ Styles is in, the performances they are delivering. I thought that feud between Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles was really good. Like, you're actually behind and a believability that AJ Styles could potentially get the job done. You know it's WWE 101 booking and it wasn't going to happen, but you invested in AJ Styles as a character, that he's this veteran that's got his last chance. And I feel he's got one more run in it. I don't know when that would ever be. I don't know whether that time has passed. I'm maybe being biased because I'm a massive AJ Styles fan. I just think he's got more life in him for one more run, even if it's at the mid-card title range. IC champion or US champion. I don't know, but like I'd like to see better from AJ Styles. And Randy Orton, again, I just think this is a setup, if I'm being optimistic, for bigger things to come for Randy Orton. He's literally lost pretty much every single PLE match he's been in. It seems like he's losing left, right and centre. He's like Cody's lackey, but in a willing way. He's there for Cody. Now, yes, I get it. Down the line, he's probably going to turn on Cody, and that's going to be a phenomenal storyline arc with so much history. But for the moment, Randy Orton is predictably getting booked to lose. He's facing Gunther at Bash at Berlin to put over Gunther. We know that. Like, yes, there's that, 3% chance the bookies think of Randy Orton winning? And this is Randy freaking Orton. It should never be that way. Why have the rematch now? I just think it's an odd booking decision. You could revisit that down the line when Randy Orton maybe has a legitimate chance in winning. But for this moment and this purpose of this storyline, Gunther's going to have this long reign. I'm pretty confident of it. And Randy Orton ain't going to beat Gunther. And I think it's really sad that we're in 2024 seeing Randy Orton literally in the shape of his life, looking like a literal monster, an absolute weapon, still at the top of his game. He's got so much more to give. And he's just putting over guys literally every single week. And I just feel, again, this is probably maybe more biased because AJ Styles and Randy Orton are two of my all-time favourites. But I just think there's so much more you can do. Now, I know what you're thinking. You haven't put the Wyatt 6 in. This is kind of throughout the year. So the Wyatt 6 is still pretty new when it comes to booking, when it comes to WWE programming. But obviously they've been a massive hit. They have smashed it out of the park. I'm loving this Uncle Howdy character, the Wyatt 6 faction that he presents. And I can't wait to see what happens moving forward. And obviously I will still share all the layered videos with the Uncle Howdy theories and drawing out all the Easter eggs. That will never go on the channel. But I thought about doing something different. Mixing it up on the channel. What do you think? Do you like the new format? Get down in the comments section. Share your thoughts and opinions. And more importantly, give me a video idea. Your best video idea. And I might select you for next week and bring up that video and discuss whatever question you may have. Or whatever theory you might roll with. Thanks again for watching the video. As always, it'd be very much appreciated if you could like the video, share the video, and even better, subscribe if you're new. Catch you in the next one.